Good morning, everybody. Welcome you all to VVR-IS. So, the exam is over. You also wrote the answer of the questions of sociology yesterday. I think this year the question was comparatively easy compared to the last year. Am I correct? If you make a comparison between last year and this year's question is comparatively easy. Okay? So, how to write the answer of the question? Once the exam is over, today I am making a discussion about how to write the answer of the question. It would be just like making a discussion with a person about marriage who has already been married. Okay, you see, still then I decided to make a discussion about the question paper 1 today and question paper 2 tomorrow, with an objective that students, those who would be writing the answer, those who would be writing the exam next year, they would get lots of benefit out of today's discussion. In addition to that, even students, those who have already taken the exam this year, obviously they would also evaluate themselves where do they stand. And even students, those who would not be successful this year, they would also get a better idea how to make an improvement with their answer writing skill subsequently. Keeping in mind the requirement of 3 different types of students, today I will be making a discussion about the previous year's question. As before discussing the answer, just I want to introduce myself to you. I am Mr. Saroj Samal. I have been guiding the civil service aspirants in Delhi, Hyderabad, Bangalore and Bhubaneswar for the last 2 decades, and right now I am discussing the answer of 2024 okay, so you see, just I am telling you some important points that should be kept in your mind whenever you are writing the answer in the examination hall. You know, question number 1 and question number 5. Question number 1 and question number 5, they are compulsory by nature. In context of question number 1, you have to write 5 answers. In context of question number 5, also 5 answers. In addition to that, you have to write answer of any 3 questions, selecting at least 1 question from section A and 1 question from section B. So in this way, you have to write 5 questions of paper, 5 questions of question number 1 and 5 questions of question number 5. That means 5 plus 5, that is 10 questions. 5 plus 5 plus 5, 10 questions you have to write. That is question number 1 and question number 5. Then remaining 3 also 10 mark question, 3 questions you have to answer. So in this way you have to answer 13 questions of weightage 10 marks. So 13 questions of 13 10 markers questions you have to write. So 13 10 markers. In addition to that, also another 5 plus 5, 10 plus 3, 13 10 markers questions you have to write. 10 markers questions means for every question you have to write within 150 words. Within 150 words you have to write 13 10 markers questions. So if you multiply 150 words with 13 answers, then it would give you 1950 words. 1950 words you have to write. Red. Okay, so in this way, for short questions, means for short note, weightage of 10 marks, you have to write 1950 words. In addition to that, you have to write 6 answers of 20 markers questions. 20 markers, 6 questions. 20 markers, 6 questions. And for 20 markers question, you have to write the answer within 250 words. 250 words. And you have to write 6 answers. So 250 multiplied by 6. 250 multiplied by 6. 1500 words you have to write. 1500 words you have to write for 20 markers questions. So if you add 1500 words with 1950 words, it would give you 3450 words. Just remember, you have to write this much words. 3450 words means approximately 3500 words within 3 hours. 3 hours means 180 minutes. So within 180 minutes, you have to write 3500 words for answering the question of both paper 1 and also paper 2, same principle. Therefore, you just calculate how faster you have to write. How faster you have to write. So I would be telling you the fact that you know that UPSC is providing you answer space, and if your size of letter is standard, then within one page you can write 70 to 80 words. 70 to 80 words within a page you can write, and you have to write 3500 words means just roughly you have to write 50 pages. So I want to tell you the fact that within 3 hours you have to write 50 pages. So accordingly you prepare yourself, you prepare your mind how much words in an hour that you have to write. Okay, this is all about the instruction of writing answer. Just I am briefing that within 180 minutes you have to write 3500 words. Okay, right now come to the discussion part of the question paper 1 that was asked, that was conducted yesterday. Today I cannot discuss the paper 2. Paper 2 answer I will be discussing tomorrow. So first you come to paper 1 answer. You see, first question, discuss the nature of sociology, highlights its relationship with social anthropology. How to write the answer? First you have to write what is sociology, what is nature of sociology. First you have to write. Question is, discuss the nature of sociology. So first you have to write what is the nature of sociology. So I want to tell you the fact that as within 3 hours you have to write 3,500 words. Therefore, you would be able to answer all questions if you are presenting the answer in graphical manner by using flow diagram. You would be able to answer all questions. Therefore, just in a point-wise manner by using flow diagram, presenting the answer in graphical way, you should learn how to write the answer. So come to the question, that is nature of sociology. What is the nature of sociology? Already I have given you the answer. Sociology is a social science, it's not a natural science. Sociology is an independent science. Its subject matter is independent, its method is independent. Third one, sociology is a categorical science. Sociology is a categorical science. Sociology is a categorical science. Categorical science, but not a normative science. What is categorical science? Categorical science explains the fact as it is. Opposite of categorical science is normative science. Normative science says what should be. So sociology discusses the society, the way it exists. Sociology does not develop any expectation related to social behavior. In that sense, sociology is a categorical science. Then sociology is a pure science, it's not an applied science. Next is sociology is an abstract science but not a concrete science. Next one is sociology is a generalizing science but not a particularizing science. And the last one, sociology is rational and empirical science to some extent. Okay? So this is about the nature of sociology. Come to second part of the question, relationship between sociology and social anthropology. While you are answering the question of this part, you have to write what sociology is all about, what social anthropology is all about. Second point, what is the connection between sociology and social anthropology. Here you have to mention the name of some sociologists, those who have contributed to sociology and social anthropology. And the third point of this part of the answer is, where is the difference between sociology and social anthropology? You see, connection between sociology and social anthropology is 𝐔𝐿, L.H. Morgan, because in context of marriage, Morgan has contributed to sociology anthropology, L.T. Hobhouse, E.B. Tyler, B.K. Malinowski, A.R. Radcliffe Brown. Difference between the two, sociology studies the modern society, on the other hand social anthropology studies the tribal society. Second, sociology adopts the method of data collection which is participant as well as non-participant. On the other hand, social anthropology adopts the techniques of data collection which is participant observation only. So first answer of first question is over. Come to the next. Next is question number 1b. Analyze the changing nature of caste as a social group. Here you have to write what is the nature of the caste system and how caste system is changing in today's world or today's India. So what is caste? Caste is a system of social stratification. And caste is, what is a status group? Status group is linked with lifestyle. Caste is regarded as a closed status group. Then what are the features of caste? Features of caste is hierarchy, hereditary occupation, endogamy, civil and religious privileges for one group and disprivileges for another group. Then come to changing nature of caste. How earlier caste in India was promoting cumulative inequality. Cumulative inequality means a person who was member of a higher caste, he was also economically well off and politically influential. But how change has taken place? Today caste system has been converted into dispersed inequality, means low caste people are becoming politically influential, low caste people are also getting good jobs and financial position is also improving. So in this way, change is taking place in the term of cumulative inequality is getting dispersed into, converted into dispersed inequality. Second thing, caste system is observing status inconsistency. Third is mobility is taking place in caste system through the process that is Sanskritization. Professor M.N. Srinivas has discussed about it. Then reservation in favor of lower caste has been made. Casteization of politics and politicization of caste is also taking place. Anti-caste movement have also become successful and change has taken place. Inter-caste marriage is also taking place in society. Caste association is also organized in today's in India. In addition to that, Professor M.N. Srinivas has also discussed about dominant caste and their role in politics. And in addition to that, Professor M.N. Srinivas says that the horizontal solidarity of caste system in 21st century India is growing and the vertical solidarity of caste system is reducing. This is all about the change that has taken place in caste system. So 1B is over. Come to 1C. 1C. Question is, marriage as an institution has undergone a radical transformation from rituals to commercial in its outlook. Explain the factors behind this change. So first you have to write the meaning of rituals. Rituals means something linked with religion. What is commercial? Something linked with monetary or pecuniary connection, pecuniary consideration or connection. So, factors responsible for conversion of the rituals orientation of marriage into commercial orientation of marriage. These are the factors like industrialization, urbanization, westernization, modernization, democratization, consumerism, economic independence of women, globalization, different cultural changes. Okay, then growth of individualism and decline of collectivism. Growth of individualism and decline of collectivism, then secularization of religion. Next is development of science and technology. Next is impact of law and constitution. And also you have to mention name of some sociologists who have discussed about all these changes that have taken place with respect to marriage. Talcott Parsons, Vogel and Bell. Vogel and Bell means title of the book is Functions and Dysfunctions of Family. Then Karl Marx, Emile Durkheim, Brian Wilson, Secularization, Joseph K. Folsom. You have to mention sociological concept and name of sociologist with an objective of making your answer sociological so that you would be scoring very good marks. Then come to next question. Next question 1D. Democracy needs a vibrant culture of civil society in order to strengthen its foundation of citizenship. Comment. Here you have to write what is democracy. Then second part, what is a civil society. Then third part, how both depend upon each other. So what is civil society? Already I have discussed earlier, given you the answer in the class note. Civil society refers to a broad arena of our social activity which lies beyond the domain of our family and market factors. Non-governmental organization, political parties, any public spirited person may be included in the civil society. Okay, so what is the next is, what is the role of civil society? Civil society is an educator. Educator means it teaches the people about their rights and responsibility. It mobilizer. It is third function is its agitator. Agitator means it organizes protest against the government while government adopts oppressive action against the people. And civil society also functions like a watchdog of democracy. Okay. Then Antonio Gramsci has highlighted the watchdog function of civil society. Antonio Gramsci has highlighted the watchdog functions of civil society. Okay, Antonio Gramsci, watchdog function of civil society. Then you have to write democracy promotes growth of civil society and civil society also strengthens democracy. Civil society promotes citizens' participation and engagement in democracy. Civil society reflects the spirit of pluralism, thus it contributes for active citizenry, which is essential for success of democracy. Okay. Come to 1E. What are the basic and irreducible functions of family as proposed by Talcott-Parsons? Talcott-Parsons discussed about American society, particularly isolated nuclear family is the concept that he has discussed with respect to American society. There he has categorically mentioned two basic irreducible functions of family. What are the functions? Two important functions family is having in the analysis of Professor Parsons. First is primary socialization of children. Second is stabilization of adult personality. That I told you with reference to the modern American society. Parsons discussed about it. And Parsons' view has been criticized by Vogel and Well. I have already told you Vogel and Well wrote a book with the title Functions and Dysfunctions of Family, where they use the concept that is scapegoating. Vogel and Bell, they are of the opinion that in family, while the parents are fighting with each other in an isolated nuclear family, the children are becoming the innocent victim, that is the scapegoat. समझते हैं आप क्या कि जब आइसोलेटेड न्यूक्लियर फैमिली अमेरिका में हस्बैंड वाइफ का बीच में क्या झगड़ा होते हैं, कभी कभी वाइफ हस्बैंड को जब स्कूल्डिंग करते हैं वो उनका बेटा को बोलते हैं यू आर ए मंकी, मीन्स ही वांटेड टू टेल द हस्बैंड मंकी इंस्टेड ऑफ डायरेक्टली टेलिंग द हस्बैंड एज मंकी. She tells that the child as monkey, means you are monkey means your father is also monkey but not mother. Okay, इसी को बोलते हैं scapegoating. Or second, Talcott-Parsons' view has been criticized by Edmund Leach. Edmund Leach says that isolated nuclear family is just like an overloaded electric circuit. इसी का मतलब जितना इमोशन का डिमांड होते हैं फैमिली में, इससे कम इमोशन मिलते हैं फैमिली में. क्या कि जब इलेक्ट्रिक सर्किट ओवरलोडेड हो जाते हैं वो टाइम पर, जो टाइम पर सप्लाई कम होते हैं डिमांड ज़्यादा होते हैं इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का, वो टाइम पर फ्यूज ब्लो कर जाते हैं. इसी को बोलते हैं ओवरलोडेड इलेक्ट्रिक सर्किट. एडमंड लीच सेज दैट आइसोलेटेड न्यूक्लियर फैमिली इज जस्ट लाइक एन ओवरलोडेड इलेक्ट्रिक सर्किट. इट मीन्स the flow of emotion in isolated nuclear family in America is flow of emotion is but less, but demand of emotion is more. That's the reason it is equated with an overloaded electric circuit. These are the view of the critics, that is Edmund Leach against Professor Talcott-Parsons' concept of isolated nuclear family. That you have to mention. Then come to question number 2. Question number 2, sociology. Question number 2, sociology is the product of European Enlightenment and Renaissance. Critically examine this statement. Means how sociology developed out of Enlightenment movement which was organized in Europe and Renaissance which was originally originated in Italy. Here you have to write yes, sociology is obviously the product of European Enlightenment and Renaissance. How? For example, Enlightenment movement was organized in 17th and 18th century, Renaissance in 14th century. Whether it is Enlightenment or it is Renaissance, both of them gave emphasis upon critical consciousness, scientific temper, humanism. Humanism means expressing concern for eradicating the problems of human being. And Enlightenment movement and Renaissance, both of them gave emphasis on, they demanded people that people should not take the things for granted. So don't take the things for granted, ask a question why. Because of this scientific temper, what happened? French Revolution was organized, because of which democracy was given birth. Subsequently, Industrial Revolution also took place. Because of Industrial Revolution, Marxism grew in sociology. And while industrialization was organized in Europe, along with industrialization, urbanization also took place. Because of urbanization, Chicago School of Sociology and Criminology also grew. Then women's movement was organized because of Enlightenment movement. Women's movement contributed towards feminism. And finally, science and scientism grew. Science and scientism contributed for Comte's developing positivism, Herbert Spencer developing organismic analogy, and as a result of it, in 1839, sociology as a concept was coined by Auguste Comte in his book with the title Positive Philosophy. This is all about answer of the question. Okay, just I am telling you how to write the answer, and detail all the points that would be inserted in answer has been discussed by me, and also I have written the answer in PDF format. By using these things you can write your own answer. Come to question 1b. This is 20 markers. 20 markers means 250 words. Even 1a also 20, 2a also 2b. This is 2b, but 2a also I discussed. There you have to write the answer within 250 words. So describe the main idea of Max Weber's book, The Protestant Ethics and Spirit of Capitalism, as a critique of Marxism. इसका मतलब मार्क्स वेबर प्रोटेस्टेंट एथिक्स और स्पिरिट ऑफ कैपिटलिज्म किताब में क्या लिखे, वो कैसे ये किताब में कार्ल मार्क्स को मार्क्स वेबर क्रिटिसाइज किए. Sorry, it is question 3b. Come to 2b. Sorry, mistakenly I reached at question number 3b. Come to 2b. 2b means, do you think objectivity is an overhyped idea in social research? Do you think objectivity is an overhyped idea in social research? Discuss the merit and demerit of non-positivist method. देखो स्टूडेंट, ये क्वेश्चन में आपको लिखना पड़ेगा ऑब्जेक्टिविटी कैसे ओवर एम्फासाइज्ड हुआ सोशियोलॉजी में, सोशल रिसर्च में, और इसी को चैलेंज देने के बाद कैसे नॉन पॉजिटिविस्ट मेथोडोलॉजी आया, और नॉन पॉजिटिविस्ट मेथोडोलॉजी का क्या मेरिट है, क्या डिमेरिट है. सो फर्स्ट यू हैव टू राइट व्हाट इज ऑब्जेक्टिविटी. ऑलरेडी आई हैव रिटन objectivity is based on invariability, observability, explanation in terms of cause and effect relationship, that is also called determinism. Durkheim has adopted that. Next is predictability, next is precision, last is replication. Replication means conducting the experiment again and again and getting the same finding. Okay, अच्छा, once upon a time positivist method of Comte and Durkheim was dominating the social research. Challenging positivist method, non-positivist method also grew. Okay, non-positivist method means that is interpretative social science research developed by Max Weber. Interpretative social science research developed by Max Weber. Okay, interpretative social science research by Max Weber, critical social science method, research method by Karl Marx, phenomenology. Okay. Next is ethnomethodology. Next is symbolic interactionism. Next is feminist methodology. Next is postmodernism. ये सब है नॉन पॉजिटिविस्ट मेथोडोलॉजी। नॉन पॉजिटिविस्ट मेथोडोलॉजी का क्या स्ट्रेंथ है, क्या वीकनेस है, मैं लिख दिया। मेरिट क्या है? नॉन पॉजिटिविस्ट मेथोडोलॉजी इज फ्लेक्सिबल, इट मेक्स इन डेप्थ एनालिसिस, इट मेक्स होलिस्टिक पर्सपेक्टिव। नॉन पॉजिटिविस्ट मेथोडोलॉजी मेक्स सब्जेक्टिव एनालिसिस बाय कंसीडरिंग द स्टेट ऑफ माइंड ऑफ द एक्टर। डीमेरिट क्या है? सब्जेक्टिव बायस परसिस्ट देयर। Non-positivist methodology is time consuming. It promotes hyper democratic practices and it brings destabilization in society. And finally, non-positivist methodology lacks generalization. Generalization is possible only in positivist methodology. This is all about the answer of the question. Just 1 minute. Come to next question. 10 markers question. 2C. What is social mobility? Critically examine the classification of closed and open model of social stratification. Okay, so what is social mobility? Meaning of social mobility you have to write. Mobility refers to a mechanism by which people of a society move from one position to another position. This is social mobility. Social mobility can be broadly divided into two categories, that is vertical mobility and horizontal mobility. Then it can be divided in other dimension like intergenerational mobility and intragenerational mobility. Second part of the question, critically examine the classification of closed and open model of social stratification. What is closed model of stratification? Closed model of stratification is a system of social stratification where positions are based on birth, means movement from one position to another position is not possible. That is caste system is an example of closed model of social stratification. Its opposite is open model of social stratification where positions are based on merit or talent. Okay, models of social stratification, closed model, closed model, open model. Open model means class system. Merits of closed model. Closed model का merit क्या है? Aspiration is limited, thus the level of frustration is less or low. Demerit of a closed model, lots of demerits is associated with a closed model of social stratification because birth is given importance but not talent. Thus talented people feel highly frustrated. Then you have to mention the name of the sociologists who have discussed about closed and open model. Tucker Parsons, Kingsley Davis, W.E. Moore, Melvin M. Tewman, Karl Marx. Okay. Come to next question. Question 3A, 20 markers. 20 markers means 250 words should be the word limit. How do you view and assess the increasing trend of digital ethnography and the use of visual culture in social research? First you have to write what is digital ethnography, what is ethnography, then what is digital ethnography. Just break it. Ethno plus graphy, that is called ethnography. Ethno means collectivity or people, graphy means writing, Then comes digital ethnography. What is digital ethnography? Digital ethnography means studying the different groups of people and their cultural practices, studying different groups of people and their cultural practices by using online platforms. Online platforms. Okay, this is the meaning of digital ethnography. Second is visual culture. What is visual culture? Visual culture refers to an endeavor of understanding social life and cultural practices of different groups through visual representation like images, photographs, advertisement, etc. Then you have to write what is social research. Social research is the systematic, exhaustive, careful investigation of social phenomena with an objective of advancing the frontier of knowledge. Then how the trend of digital ethnography and visual culture has been increased in social research. You have to write in the 21st century sociological research, we observe there is an increasing use. There is an increasing use of digital ethnography and use of visual culture. This trend has both merits as well as demerits. A trend का merit है, demerit है. Merit क्या है? Merit में लिख दिया. Accessibility to every part of the world through digital platform is possible. Suppose you are a researcher conducting research upon a tribe in Australia. Obviously, their photographs is published in social media. Sitting here in India, you can also get information about them. You need not require to go to the field. This is the easiest way. So accessibility to every part of the world through digital platform is possible. Second, representation of all types of social phenomena is possible. Thus, democratization of social phenomena is taking place. And also, it is complementary to written data, because earlier the ethnographers were going to the field and studying them, writing about them. But these days, ethnography has become complementary to written data. In this way, they have been interconnected, and real-time data is possible. Suppose right now, today is 30th September. 30th September, it is 11:35. You wanted to conduct research upon a tribe living in Africa. Their photographs, images are available online. Watching all these things, you can conduct research upon them. This is called digital ethnography. So real-time data is available. This is merit. What is demerit? Demerit means the privacy invasion. As their images and photographs are available, okay, you can publish you can conduct research and publish them without taking their consent. So privacy invasion is taking place. Private and public sphere undifferentiated. Their private life and public life, they are undifferentiated because everything is available in social media. Last point, in-depth analysis is lacking. How in-depth analysis is lacking? Because the researcher earlier was going to the field and collecting data and conducting research. But right now, sitting at home, watching their photograph, research is conducted. Is this type of research trying to make any in-depth analysis? Answer is no. Come to next question. Next question is 3B, 20 markers question. Describe the main idea of Max Weber's book, The Protestant Ethics and Spirit of Capitalism as a Critique of Marxism. Means you have to write what Max Weber has written in Protestant Ethics and Spirit of Capitalism, and how in this book Max Weber has criticized Karl Marx. Actually, in this book, Max Weber has discussed about 8 ethical principles of Protestantism. What are the 8 ethical principles? Here are 4 principles. First principle is features of, here is 3 principles. Shift from ritualistic and otherworldly orientation to down-to-earth pragmatism. Second is changed attitude towards work. Third is doctrine of calling. Then another 5 in this page. What are they? Next is 4th, rejection of holidays. Next is new attitudes towards collection of interest on loan. Okay, new attitude or rejection of collecting of interest on loan, what Catholicism has rejected, that has been accepted in Protestantism. Next one is stricture on alcoholism. Next one is encouragement of literacy and learning. 8 point Protestant asceticism. These 8 points have been discussed by Max Weber in context of Protestant ethics and spirit of capitalism. So first part is over. Describe the main idea of Max Weber's book, Protestant Ethics and Spirit of Capitalism. Second part, how in this book Max Weber has criticized Karl Marx. Yes, Max Weber has criticized Karl Marx in this book because Karl Marx approach is deterministic approach. You know, Karl Marx developed economic determinism. Karl Marx approach is deterministic approach. That is economic determinism. Karl Marx says economy is the cause, religion is the effect. But in this book, Weber rejected economic determinism. Okay. But Weber did not promote any other type of determinism. Weber does not say that religion is the cause and economy is the effect. Weber has not said so. So Weber rejected all forms of determinism and Weber did not want to replace economic determinism with any other form of determinism. Rather, Weber promoted causal pluralism. Weber says, in matter of development of Protestantism, many factors have played their role. Religion is one of the many factors. So, by rejecting economic determinism, Weber has promoted causal pluralism in this book. Here is the answer. Though economic determinism of Marx was rejected by Weber, but it was not replaced by any other type of determinism. Rather, Weber promoted causal pluralism. Okay, answer is over. Come to next. 3C, 10 markers questions. Critically explain the salient features of alienation as propounded by Karl Marx. Here you have to write what Karl Marx has said about alienation and how critics have criticized Karl Marx's concept of alienation. So come to the next page. So alienation, make a derivation, align plus ation, that is alienation. Align means foreigner, ation means process. So Karl Marx is of the opinion that in modern industrial society, workers, the moment they are working in industry, they don't feel happy. Rather, they are forced to work for the sake of earning their livelihood. Therefore, they are not enjoying their work. This is called alienation. Karl Marx, so alienation literally means separation from. Karl Marx is of the opinion that exploitation is the cause of alienation of workers. So exploitation is the cause, alienation is the effect. Karl Marx has discussed about 4 aspects of alienation, that is alienation from the product, alienation from the process, alienation from self, alienation from the community of co-workers. These are the 4 aspects of alienation discussed by Karl Marx. Then what the critics say? Who are the critics in this context? Critics in this context just I have not mentioned, just I am writing. Who are the critics? Critics are C.W. Mills, C.W. Mills and Herbert Marcus. C.W. Mills used a concept that is called white collar alienation. White collar alienation. Karl Marx says establishment of industry, expansion of industry is the root cause of alienation. Industry is the secondary sector. So expansion of secondary sector and exploitation of worker is the main cause of alienation. Criticizing Karl Marx's view, C.W. Mills used a concept that is called white collar alienation. C.W. Mills is of the opinion that expansion of tertiary sector or service sector is the main cause of alienation. In a celebrated expression, C.W. Mills writes, American society is a society characterized by hypocrisy. In the sales room, boardroom, staff room and common room, our people are selling their personalities in lieu of money, and thus they are prostituting their talent in context of white collar alienation. But C.W. Mills has written so. So obviously expansion of tertiary sector or service sector is the cause of alienation. C.W. Mills says so. So here he has criticized Karl Marx. Next is Herbert Marcus. Herbert Marcus wrote a book. The name of the book is One Dimensional Man. One Dimensional Man. In this book also, Herbert Marcus' book is One Dimensional Man. In this book he has also criticized Karl Marx's concept of alienation. Here he says mass media is inducing new type of demands in the mind of the people, and thus mass media in mass society is the root cause of alienation. In this way, Karl Marx's theory of alienation has been criticized by these two thinkers. With this much, this question's answer is over. Come to the next question. Question 4a, 20 markers. What do you understand by mixed method? Discuss its strength and limitation in social research. As I have already told you that in sociological research there are two opposite methods related to research. One is quantitative research, another is qualitative research. Quantitative research means the positivist social science research is quantitative by nature. Its opposite is qualitative research, that is what your interpretative social science research. Okay. And what is mixed research method? Mixed means combining both the research method. That is called mixed research. So mixed method means it's a combination of quantitative method and qualitative method. Combination of quantitative method plus qualitative method. This is called mixed method. ये मिक्स्ड मेथड का क्या मेरिट है, क्या लिमिटेशन है, क्या स्ट्रेंथ है, क्या मेरिट डिमेरिट है, इसको लिखना पड़ेगा. स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ मिक्स्ड मेथड इज इट गिव्स ए होलिस्टिक अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ रिसर्च टॉपिक. यू नो, quantitative method has limitation, qualitative method has limitation, but mixed method is trying to overcome the limitation of both by combining both the approaches. So in this way holistic discussion is possible. It gives flexibility in terms of techniques of data collection. Data collection technique quantitative method के लिए क्या होगा? क्वेश्चनर होगा. क्वालिटेटिव मेथड के लिए क्या होगा? इंटरव्यू होगा. लेकिन मिक्स्ड मेथड में दोनों मिक्सचर हो जाएगा. इसलिए बाय अडॉप्टिंग मिक्स्ड मेथड वुड बी एबल टू ओवरकम द लिमिटेशन ऑफ टेक्निक्स ऑफ डाटा कलेक्शन. This is the second point. Third point, it helps in cross-verifying the results by synthesizing the replication mechanism with in-depth analysis. Replication कहाँ यूज होते हैं? Replication यूज होते हैं क्वांटिटेटिव रिसर्च में. In-depth अप्रोच कहाँ होते हैं? ये होते हैं क्वालिटेटिव. रेप्लिकेशन होते हैं क्वांटिटेटिव. नेक्स्ट, इट सिंथेसाइजेस द स्टैटिस्टिकल एनालिसिस. स्टैटिस्टिकल एनालिसिस क्वांटिटेटिव में यूज होते हैं. नैरेटिव डाटा कहाँ यूज होते हैं? क्वालिटेटिव में होते हैं. सो इट सिंथेसाइजेस बोथ. Then what are the weaknesses? Weaknesses, it is extremely complex, complicated and cumbersome. Cumbersome means time consuming by nature, because दोनों को मिंगल करके रिसर्च करना तो बड़ा डिफिकल्ट टास्क है ना. सो इट इज कॉम्प्लेक्स, कॉम्प्लिकेटेड एंड कम्बरसम. कम्बरसम मीन्स टाइम कंज्यूमिंग बाय नेचर. Second, data collection, analysis and interpretation becomes extremely complex. दोनों को मिंगल कर डाटा कलेक्शन करना के लिए बड़ा डिफिकल्ट होते हैं रिसर्चर के लिए. नेक्स्ट, इंटीग्रेटिंग क्वालिटेटिव डाटा विथ क्वांटिटेटिव डाटा लीड्स टुवर्ड्स कन्फ्यूजन. दोनों को मिंगल करेंगे तो कन्फ्यूजन आएगा. ये है वीकनेस. सो आंसर ऑफ दिस क्वेश्चन इज ऑल्सो ओवर. कम टू 4B. Define the concept of a gig economy and discuss its impact on labor market and workers social security net. A 20 marks question, so you have to write the answer within 250 words. Gig economy क्या है? Already answer I have written. Gig economy, what is gig economy? Already I have written. The term gig economy refers to labor market system where temporary, flexible, free and companies hire independent workers for short term engagement or project rather than traditional full-time long employment. Gig originates from the gig means short term performance or job. Okay, ये है gig economy. और गिग इकोनॉमी का इम्पैक्ट लेबर मार्केट और वर्कर्स सोशल सिक्योरिटी नेट पर क्या होते हैं? इट हैज बोथ पॉजिटिव एंड नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट. व्हाट आर द पॉजिटिव इम्पैक्ट? फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी ऑफ वर्कर. गिग वर्कर कैन वर्क एट एनी पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम. गिग वर्कर का ऑफिस टाइम फिक्स नहीं है, 10 से 6 नहीं है. कोई चाहेगा तो 12 से 3 बजे तक काम कर सकते हैं, कोई चाहेगा तो रात 3 से 6 बजे तक काम कर सकते हैं, सुबह 6 तक. So flexibility of workers. Second is opportunity for additional income. Third, job creation and access to diverse opportunities. Next, efficient use of skill. Next is entrepreneurial spirit. Weakness क्या है? गिग इकोनॉमी का वीकनेस ये सब है. लैक ऑफ जॉब सिक्योरिटीज. काम करेंगे तो गिग मीन्स पीपल वर्किंग इन ओला एंड उबर, पीपल दोज हु आर एंगेज्ड इन फूड डिलीवरी सर्विसेज लाइक जोमेटो, स्विगी, फूड पांडा. वो सब वर्कर का सिक्योरिटी गारंटेड नहीं है. काम करेंगे तो पैसा मिलेगा, काम नहीं करेंगे तो पैसा नहीं मिलेगा. ओके, लैक ऑफ जॉब सिक्योरिटी, एब्सेंस ऑफ एम्प्लॉयमेंट बेनिफिट, इरोजन ऑफ वर्कर्स राइट एंड प्रोटेक्शन. सपोज जो ओला उबर ड्राइव करते हैं, नहीं तो जो जोमेटो में फूड डिलीवरी करते हैं, रास्ता में एक्सीडेंट हो गया, उनको कोई एक्सीडेंटल बेनिफिट नहीं मिलेगा. ओके, ये सब है चैलेंजेस ऑफ गिग इकोनॉमी। कम टू 4C। अच्छा, जो गिग इकोनॉमी बारे में लिखेंगे, कोई सोशियोलॉजी का नाम भी मेंशन करेंगे, गिग इकोनॉमी बारे में सोशियोलॉजिस्ट किसी को मेंशन करेंगे हैरी ब्रेभरमैन, हैरी ब्रेभरमैन, हैरी ब्रेभरमैन, हैरी ब्रेभरमैन, सतीश देशपांडे, सतीश देशपांडे, ये सबको मेंशन करना पड़ेगा। ओके, दे हैव डिस्कस्ड अबाउट द चैलेंजेस ऑफ वर्कर्स एंगेज्ड इन गिग इकोनॉमी। हैरी ब्रेभरमैन का क्या कॉन्सेप्ट है? हैरी ब्रेभरमैन्स कॉन्सेप्ट इज डी स्किलिंग, डी स्किलिंग। Okay, so come to next question. Next question is 4C. Critically assess the impact of technological advancement on automation, technological advancement and automation on nature of work and employment. Answer लिख दिया, just you read it, but you have to add the name of some sociologist. Critically assess the impact of technological advancement and automation on the nature of work and employment. Answer तो लिख दिया, लेकिन you have to mention the name of some sociologist here. ऑटोमेशन बारे में 3 सोशियोलॉजिस्ट डिस्कशन किए, दे आर हर्बर्ट व्लॉनर, नेक्स्ट इज सर्ज मैलेट, थर्ड वन इज डंकन गैली। ऑटोमेशन का इम्पैक्ट क्या है सोसाइटी के पर? आंसर ऑलरेडी लिख दिया, यू जस्ट गो थ्रू द आंसर। Obviously, we have uploaded also this answer. You can download it and use the answer for future, preserve the answer for future use. Okay, I think section A is over. So come to section B. Section B. Section B. First 5A, all are 10 mark questions, means within 150 words you have to write. Question is, describe various characteristics of a social fact. How is the rate of suicide a social fact according to Durkheim? What is social fact? Social fact is the collective way of thinking, behaving, experiencing and experimenting something which is having the noteworthy property of existing beyond individual consciousness. And for Durkheim, social fact has 3 important features. What are they? First is exteriority, second is constraint, third is generality. Exteriority, constraint and generality, these are the 3 important features of social fact. And how Durkheim says rate of suicide also a social fact. Okay, obviously Durkheim has considered 2 factors, namely social integration and social regulation, on the basis of which he made a 4-fold classification of suicide: egoistic suicide, altruistic suicide. Egoistic suicide means due to lack of integration, altruistic suicide means due to over integration, anomic suicide means due to deregulation, fatalistic suicide means due to over regulation. So how for Durkheim rate of suicide is a social fact? Because rate of suicide can be explained in terms of cause and effect relationship. So for Durkheim, suicide is a social fact. Come to second question, that is 5b. Explain George Herbert Mead's idea of development of self through the generalized other. Already in my class I have made a detailed discussion about it. You have to write George Herbert Mead has adopted symbolic interactionism. First, he has adopted dialectical approach to make a difference between self and other. He says self has two components, I component that is subject, me component that is object. He divided other into two categories, significant others, generalized other. Then he has discussed about two stages of socialization, play stage and game stage. How during play stage a child learn about the behavior of significant other sorry, and how in game stage a child learns about the generalized other. In addition to that, George Herbert Mead has also used other concepts like role taking, role making, alter casting. Role taking means performing the role of other. Role making means performing one's own role. Alter casting means predicting the response of other people towards one's own behavior. Then finally, conclusion would be like this: self develops in context of society through the process of socialization by internalization of the role of others. This is all about answer of this question. Come to next, that is 5c. Describe the differing principles of work organization in feudal and capitalist societies. Feudal society और capitalist society का वर्क ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में क्या डिफरेंस है? सो feudal society means agriculture is the main mode of production. Hierarchy is based on birth, that is ascriptive hierarchy. Next is closed social system is there. Personal relationship is taken into account in matter of employment of workers or people. In matter of employment, personal relationship is taken into account. Next, vertical mobility is discouraged. Then strong collective orientation exists. Opposite of capitalist, but feudalistic society is capitalistic society. Capitalist society का क्या feature है? Industry is the main mode of production. Achievement oriented hierarchy exists. Open system, social system exists. Merit or talent is taken into consideration in matter of employment. Vertical mobility is encouraged. Okay. Next is self-orientation or self-gratification is given emphasis. Free labor is available. Market exchange exists. So consumerism, materialism, alienation of worker is higher in this society. This is the main difference between capitalist society and feudalistic society with reference to work organization. Come to 5D. How power is different from authority. Discuss various types of authorities as theorized by Max Weber. What is power? Max Weber says power is the ability of a person to influence the behavior of other. Power is the ability of a person to influence the behavior of other. You have to write, Weber has developed constant sum theory of power. Means the sum total of power of a society or of a system is constant. This is also called zero-sum theory of power. Just like the way Karl Marx says, Weber also agrees. The sum total of power of a society is constant. And power is the ability of a person to influence the behavior of other. If in a society somebody is emerging powerful, he is taking away the power of other people. This is Weberian analysis of power. Then what is authority? Power plus legitimacy is called authority. power plus legitimacy is called authority. When power is added with legitimacy, that gives you authority. Take an example. You are moving in lonely street in the late night. A thief came or a gangster came, terrorized you, demanded you to hand over the money that you are having with you. Being terrorized by the gangster, you handed over your money. Gangster is powerful because gangster, as per Weber, power is the ability of a person to influence the behavior of other. So gangster in lonely street where police patrolling is not taking place is powerful. Okay, but does society give recognition to the use of gangster, use of power by the gangster in lonely street? No, answer is no. Therefore, gangster is having power, lacking legitimacy. So gangster is not authority. Got it? Then what is authority? Power plus legitimacy is called authority. Suppose a fake allegation has been made against you. A policeman came and arrested you, but you are innocent. Police arrested you. Police is able to influence your behavior? Yes. Does society give recognition to the use of power by police? Answer is yes. Therefore, police is having power, police is having legitimacy, and thus police is the authority. Okay. Then three types of authority discussed by Max Weber. First is rational legal authority, example is civil servant. Traditional authority, example is tribal chief. Charismatic authority, that is the great saints like Shankaracharya, Jesus Christ, Prophet Muhammad. All these people are the example of charismatic authority. Answer is over. Come to the next question. Next question is 5E. Critically examine the role of science and technology in social change. What is your opinion on their increasing trend in online education and teaching? Critically examine the role of science and technology. Critically examine means you have to write both positive and negative aspect. So you have to write role of science and technology on family, marriage and kinship system, on economy, on religion, on education, on women. Then you have to mention Ogman and Nimkop's view, Parsons' view, Karl Marx's view, Brian Wilson's view. They have discussed about positive and negative impact of science and technology. Okay. Role of science and technology on online education, second part, and teaching. Online education has become cost effective, positive. Online education is contributing towards democratization of education. Online education is contributing towards personalized learning. This is the positive impact. Then negative impacts or challenges. Online education has tremendous negative consequences upon mental health. We are not sure regarding the quality of online education. It may be of inferior quality because lots of misinformations are also available on online education. And in online education, there is lack of interaction between the teacher and the students. Then digital literacy in our country is not very high. Digital divide also exists in all over the world. These are the challenges. This is all about the answer of the question. So, question 5 is over. Right now, come to question 6. Question 6. A. 20 marks question. You have to write the answer within 250 words. Underline the role of social media in contemporary social movements and describe its challenges. Underline the role of social media in contemporary social movement. Contemporary social movement का पर सोशल मीडिया का क्या इम्पैक्ट है? मैं तो आंसर लिख दिया. What is social media? What is the role of social media in contemporary social movement? Just you see it. Rapid information dissemination, amplification of voice and mobilization, ये सब पॉजिटिव इम्पैक्ट है। चैलेंजेस क्या है? मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन एंड डिस इन्फॉर्मेशन, रॉन्ग इन्फॉर्मेशन भी आते हैं। और क्या होते हैं? अदर चैलेंजेस आर लाइक सुपरफिशियल एंगेजमेंट, लाइक क्लिकटिविज्म, डिजिटल सर्विलांस एंड रिप्रेशन, पोलराइजेशन एंड इको चैम्बर। ये कंक्लूजन है। ओके, then come to 6b. 6b, how does a multicultural society accommodates diversities of all kind, that is ethnic, linguistic, religious? Discuss its major challenges. How does a multicultural society accommodate diversities like ethnic, linguistic, religious? What is a multicultural society? A society where more than one groups of people practicing different cultures are coexisting, that is a multicultural society. Okay, how does it accommodate the diversity? It accommodates diversity in the following way. First is legal and constitutional framework. Legal and constitutional framework. Second is pluralism and cultural recognition. इसके साथ भी आप लिख सकते हैं कल्चरल रिलेटिविज्म ऑल्सो। What is cultural relativism? Cultural relativism promotes the idea that no cultural practice is inherently superior or inferior. Rather, every cultural practice must be evaluated in the context in which it is working. नेक्स्ट है मल्टीकल्चरल सोसाइटी में डिफरेंट लैंग्वेज है, इसलिए कुछ ऑफिशियल लैंग्वेज प्रमोट करना होते हैं। इंटरफेथ डायलॉग एंड रिलीजियस टॉलरेंस। देन व्हाट आर द चैलेंजेस इन मल्टीकल्चरल सोसाइटी? इंटीग्रेशन वर्सेस एसिमिलेशन, discrimination, ethnic and religious conflict, identity politics, economic inequality. These are the problems of multi-religious society. This is all about the answer. Then come to next. Discuss the concept of animism and differentiate it from naturism. It means first you have to write what is animism. I have already written. Animism means make a derivation. Anima plus ism. Anima plus ism is called animism. Anima means animal spirit. Animal spirit. Animal spirit. Animal spirit means harmful spirit. Harmful spirit. What is animism? Animism as a concept was developed by E.B. Tylor, supported by Herbert Spencer. E.B. Tylor developed animism. It is a very ancient theory related to origin of religion. E.B. Tylor is of the opinion that while civilization was not developed, scientific thought was not developed. At that point of time, our primitive ancestors started thinking that behind every living being there is a spirit. One day the human being dies or the living being dies, but spirit does not die. That spirit comes to the home of every person during the night time in dream experience. This idea is animism. So Tylor is of the opinion that every living being has a spirit. Spirit has destructive consequences, and primitive people wanted to overcome the destructive consequences of spirit, for which religion came into existence. So what is religion? The practice of worshipping the spirit of dead ancestor is called religion. So Tylor in a celebrated expression says, tomb is the first temple and ancestor is the first god. I have written, tomb is the first temple and ancestor is the first god. Means animism promotes the idea that spirit is there behind every living being. Then what is naturism? Naturism as a concept was developed by Max Muller. Max Muller. Naturism. Naturism as a concept was developed by Max Muller. Max Muller is of the opinion that different objects of the nature have divine power. So, since time immemorial, people have worshipped trees, ocean, mountain, forest, rivers, keeping in mind that all these objects of nature, they are having divine power. So here spirit concept is not there. Rather, in context of naturism, it is thought that objects of nature are having divine manifestation. This is the fundamental difference between naturism and animism. So naturism means divine power, belief in divine power. Animism means belief in presence of spirit. Second, that animism believes in personification of God. On the other hand, naturism believes in non-personification of God. This is the fundamental difference. Come to 7. Question number 6 is over. Come to 7. Do modernization and secularization necessarily go together? Give your views. Question 7, 8, 20 marks, 250 words. You have to write the answer. First, you have to write what is modernization. Already answer is written. What is modernization? Then you have to write about what is secularization. Okay. Third point. Do modernization and secularization necessarily go together? कोई सोशियोलॉजिस्ट बोलते हैं मॉडर्नाइजेशन और सिकुलराइजेशन बोथ ऑफ देम मूव इन द सेम ट्रैक, लेकिन कोई सोशियोलॉजिस्ट बोलते हैं नहीं, मॉडर्नाइजेशन और सिकुलराइजेशन के बीच में कोई कनेक्शन भी नहीं है. देखो, फर्स्ट यू हैव टू राइट अबाउट प्रोफेसर वाई सिंह and Professor A.M.N. Srinivas. Okay, both the sociologists are of the opinion that modernization is a bigger process and secularization is a sub process. ये दोनों बोलते हैं ये मॉडर्नाइजेशन इसी के अंदर में है सिकुलराइजेशन. So you have to write sociologists like M.N. Srinivas and Y. Singh, they are of the opinion that modernization is a big process, a sub process of it is secularization. First of all, you know what is modernization and how modernization is different from secularization. Make a derivation, modernize plus ation, modernization. Modernize means to spread the attribute of modernity. Ation means process. Therefore, modernization refers to the process by which the attributes of modernity are diffused into the mindset of the people in a society. That is called modernization. Then what is secularization? Secularize, make a derivation, secularize plus ation, that is secularization. Secularize means to spread the attributes of secularism. Secularism means treating all religions in terms of equality or segregating religion from politics. Okay. Brian Wilson, you have to write Brian Wilson. Brian Wilson is of the opinion that secularization refers to the process by which the influence of religion is weakening in modern society. ओके, सो दोनों एक ट्रैक में जाते हैं, एज को एक्सप्लेन करते हैं ये दो सोशियोलॉजिस्ट, वाई सिंह, एम एन श्रीनिवास। कोई कोई सोशियोलॉजिस्ट बोलते हैं नो, मॉडर्नाइजेशन एंड सेकुलराइजेशन दे मे नॉट मूव टुगेदर बिकॉज in the process of modernization what is happening, modern tools and techniques are also used for the purpose of promoting religious consciousness and eventually promotion of religious revivalism. A detailed discussion I have made in my classroom, just answer I am giving here. Okay, come to next 7b. How do you understand the phenomena of mushrooming of sects and cults in contemporary society? सेक्ट क्या है, कल्ट क्या है, मालूम है आपको ना? डिस्कस द डायमेंशन, सॉरी 7b. ये आंसर है, हाउ डू यू अंडरस्टैंड द फेनोमेना ऑफ मशरूमिंग ऑफ सेक्ट्स एंड कल्ट्स इन कंटेम्पररी सोसाइटी? Cult is an individual centric religious organization at the center of which is seated a charismatic person. Sect refers to a major breakaway from the church by a very small number of people. Okay, detailed discussion is not required. So, how do you understand the phenomena of mushrooming of sects and cults in contemporary society? Discuss factors responsible. जो आज नया नया कल्ट और सेक्ट इमर्ज करते हैं, इसके बिहाइंड क्या क्या फैक्टर काम करते हैं वो बारे में आपको लिखना पड़ेगा. व्हाट आर द फैक्टर्स? फैक्टर्स आर लाइक दिस: एनोमी एंड सोशल फ्रैगमेंटेशन. आज का सोसाइटी डिवाइडेड सोसाइटी है. पोस्ट मॉडर्निज्म एंड प्लूरालिज्म, सस्पिशन ज़्यादा होते हैं लोग का मन में. प्लूरालिज्म, रिलीजन को लेकर प्लूरालिज्म ग्रो करते हैं. ग्लोबलाइजेशन एंड सोशल मीडिया, इट्स इम्पैक्ट. नेक्स्ट इज आइडेंटिटी क्राइसिस एंड इंडिविजुअलिज्म. नेक्स्ट इज इकोनॉमिक एंड सोशल इनसिक्योरिटी. ओके, ये सब आपको लिखना पड़ेगा. कम टू नेक्स्ट. Discuss the dimension of power in construction and maintenance of social hierarchies in a society. First you have to write what is power, then you have to write key dimension of power in social hierarchy. एक है structural power. structural power बारे में टालकट पार्सन्स और आन ओक्ले डिस्कशन कर दिए. आन ओक्ले पैट्रियार्की के बारे में डिस्कशन किए. स्ट्रक्चरल पावर कंटेक्स्ट में टालकट पर्सन्स भी पैट्रियार्की के बारे में डिस्कशन किए. कल्चरल पावर, एंटोनियो ग्राम्स्की, वो इटाली का एक थिंकर है, वो कल्चरल पावर बारे में डिस्कशन किए. इकोनॉमिक पावर बारे में तो कार्ल मार्क्स डिस्कशन किए. पॉलिटिकल पावर बारे में मैक्स वेबर डिस्कशन किए. सिंबलिक पावर बारे में पेरी बर्ड्यू कल्चर कैपिटल जो डिस्कशन किए वो है सिंबलिक पावर. हाउ पावर कंस्ट्रक्ट्स एंड मेंटेन्स हायरार्कीज. पावर यूज कर लेजिटिमाइजेशन व लेजिटिमेशन आते हैं. पावर को यूज कर रिसोर्स को कंट्रोल भी लोग करते हैं. So legitimation, power gives legitimation, power gives control over resources, and powerful people, they also set in the process of socialization as per their requirement. So in this way hierarchy is maintained in a society. Right now come to the last question of your paper 1, that is question number 8A. 8A. Modern families have not just become nuclear and neolocal but also filiocentric. Nuclear means obviously parents, married couple with or without children, that is nuclear family. Neolocal means after the marriage द न्यूली वेडेड कपल लिव इन न्यू प्लेस ऑफ रेसिडेंस। आजकल तो सब आईटी सेक्टर में दोनों हस्बैंड वाइफ काम करते हैं, शादी के बाद ना हस्बैंड का घर में ना वाइफ का घर में रहना संभव है। एक हस्बैंड है भुवनेश्वर का, वाइफ है नागालैंड का, दोनों रहते हैं बेंगलोर में। इसी को बोलते हैं नियो लोकल फैमिली। फिलियोसेंट्रिक मीन्स फिलियो ग्रोथ ऑफ इंडिविजुअलिज्म। देन इगालिटेरियन पेरेंटिंग्स। अर्लियर पेरेंट्स चाइल्ड रिलेशन चिल्ड्रन रिलेशनशिप वाज अथॉरिटेरियन, नाउ इगालिटेरियन। Then democratization of family structure, then inequality, then industrialization, urbanization, reduction in the rate of fertility, globalization, consumerism, materialism. Then you have to mention view of 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂, already discussed. Isolated nuclear family, 𝐼𝐴 Sir, जोसेफ के फलसम, G.P. मर्डॉक, आन ओकले, ये सब लिखना पड़ेगा। ओके, कम टू नेक्स्ट। Discuss the various theories, that is 8b. Discuss the various theories of social change. Explain the limitation of unilinear theory of social change. What are the various theories of social change? First is evolutionary theory given by Auguste Comte, Herbert Spencer, Ferdinand Tönnies, Emile Durkheim. Cyclical theory given by Oswald Spengler, विल्फ्रेडो पैरेटो। ओस्वाल्ड स्पेंगलर्स थ्योरी डिक्लाइन ऑफ द वेस्ट। स्टोडार्ड को भी ऐड कर सकते हैं, स्टोडार्ड STODDARD स्टोडार्ड। उनका थ्योरी का नाम है, स्टोडार्ड का थ्योरी का नाम है द राइजिंग टाइड्स ऑफ कलर। पैरेटो का थ्योरी है सर्कुलेशन ऑफ एलिट। ये थ्योरी में पैरेटो मेंशन करते हैं हिस्ट्री इज द ग्रेवयार्ड ऑफ अरिस्टोक्रेसी। कॉन्फ्लिक्ट थ्योरी बारे में लिखेंगे कार्ल मार्क्स, इकोनॉमिक डिटर्मिनिज्म। राल्फ डारेंडर्फ, दैट इज अथॉरिटी। लुइस कोजर को लिख सकते हैं, दोनों टाइप का कॉन्फ्लिक्ट, रियलिस्टिक नॉन रियलिस्टिक कॉन्फ्लिक्ट बारे में जो बताए। स्ट्रक्चरल फंक्शनल थ्योरी भी मेंशन कर सकते हैं। स्ट्रक्चरल फंक्शनल थ्योरी में 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂, किंग्सले डेविस, विल्बर मूर लिखेंगे। इसी के बाद वो पूछता है एक्सप्लेन द लिमिटेशन ऑफ यूनिलिनियर थ्योरी। देखो, इवोल्यूशनरी थ्योरी इज ब्रॉडली डिवाइडेड इनटू टू, यूनिलिनियर थ्योरी ऑफ इवोल्यूशन, मल्टीलिनियर थ्योरी ऑफ इवोल्यूशन। यूनिलिनियर मीन्स सिंगल लाइन। यूनिलिनियर थ्योरी ऑफ इवोल्यूशन promotes the idea that a society moves through a single line, through different stages, and every succeeding stage is better than the preceding stage. Suppose stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, stage 5. Unilinear theory of evolution promotes the idea that a society moves in a single line consisting of different stages. Every succeeding stage is better than the preceding stage. Means today's society is more progressive than of paper 1, that is 8C. Critically examine the world system Wallerstein in terms of development and dependency of various nations. इमानुएल वैलरस्टेन 1975 को एक किताब लिखे, जो किताब का नाम था द वर्ल्ड सिस्टम। इमानुएल वैलरस्टेन wrote a book which was published in 1975. The name of the book is The World System. The World System. Name of the book is The World System. In this book, he divides the world into three components. First is core, second is periphery, third is semi-periphery. Certain countries of the world are at the core. Like core countries are like in today's context, Europe, Western European countries, and also America. Periphery means countries of Asia, Africa, and Latin America. Then semi-periphery means in between the two, semi-periphery. Emanuel Wallerstein is of the opinion that the countries at the core, that is Europe and America, Europe means West Europe and America, they are exploiting the peripheral countries. So core is exploiting the periphery. How? Because core countries are engaged in finished goods. Peripheral countries are engaged in producing the raw material. So Asia, Africa and Latin America, they manufacture, they provide raw material, and core countries, they are purchasing the raw material, converting into finished goods, selling the finished goods at a higher price. In this way, core countries are exploiting the peripheral countries. Then what is semi-peripheral countries? Semi-peripheral countries are in between the core and the periphery. Who are they? India is semi-peripheral countries in today's context. South Africa and Brazil, they are also example of semi-peripheral countries. Semi-peripheral countries means they are standing in between exploiter and exploited. Core is exploiter, periphery is exploited, but semi-periphery, they are experiencing exploitation, they are also exploiting others in between the two. Okay. क्या ये थ्योरी का लिमिटेशन है? फर्स्ट थिंग इज Wallerstein's theory is deterministic by nature. Second, it is Eurocentric by Eurocentric. It overemphasizes on economic factor. It underemphasizes the inadequacy of the countries of Asia, Africa and Latin America. Because Wallerstein says countries of Asia, Africa and Latin America are exploited because they are providing raw material, selling their raw material. But poverty is there in these countries. Illiteracy is there in these countries. Level of patriarchy in these countries are higher. Technological literacy of the people of these countries are very less. All these factors have not taken into consideration. So these are the inadequacies of the people of these countries that has not been taken into account in Wallerstein's theory of world system theory. Okay. So this is all about the answer of the entire paper 1 and paper 2 answers that I would be discussing tomorrow. I think by writing the answer, this must the way I discuss the things, that would help you a lot in matter of answering the questions in future in better way, and be very calculative in matter of adopting in matter of writing faster, because within 3 hours you have to write approximately 50 pages, because 3,500 words you have to write in 3 hours. And if you write only 70 words in a, because the space that is provided by UPSC, within that space you can write at the best 70 words, not more. So in this way 50 pages you have to write. So adopt your writing practice at home, and definitely the more rigorous writing practice that you adopt at home, the higher is your possibility of success in the next years to come. Okay, with this much discussion, let me bind off the class for today, and paper 2 will be discussed by me tomorrow, and the timing will be also intimated to you in my group. With this much discussion, let me bind up the class for today. Wish you all the best for the students, those who have already taken the examination, and wishing you all the best for the student who will be taking the exam in future. Thank you. Thank you for watching me.